London, spring of 1536. In Whitehall Palace, the air is rich with celebration and fear. Anne Boleyn, second wife to Henry VIII and Queen of England, does not yet know she will be arrested within days. But she feels the shift. The king is distant. Jane Seymour is near. The court murmurs behind closed doors. Tonight, Anne speaks, not to plead, but to answer. Her appearance in this interview is a visual reconstruction based on the most iconic portrait of her by an unknown artist. Your Majesty, I beg your pardon for my bluntness, but I must speak plainly. Shadows are gathering around you. There are whispers, and not all of them are harmless. And yet, despite it all, you remain a queen. Why have you agreed to speak with me, and why now?
Good sir, I know not what thy pen shall make of me, a saint, a sinner, or a cautionary tale. But I thank thee for lending thine ear. Few care now for mine truth, though many speak mine name. Ask, then. I shall answer as a queen, and as a woman.
When King Henry VIII first turned his eyes to you, you hesitated. Why did you refuse to become his mistress, as your sister Mary had?
I knew well what it meant to be the king's fancy, for I had seen it with mine own sister, whose honour was much bruised by courtly whispers and cruel glances. I did not come to court to be dallied with, nor to be cast aside when the king's favour did falter. Nay, I desired not the velvet bed, but the golden crown. If that be pride, so be it. Better to be hated for ambition than pitied for yielding.
You knew that the path to the throne would bring humiliation to Catherine of Aragon. Was it an act of feminine cruelty, or political calculation?
Think ye I rejoiced in the sorrow of a crowned queen? Nay, there be no triumph in the tears of another woman, least of all one who had once been beloved and did wear the crown with grace. But what was I to do? Refuse the king, flee the court, and hide in shadows? Mine every step was watched, every word weighed like gold. I became the king's desire, and with it came peril, not power. Let no man call it conquest, for I gained naught but enemies and a heavy heart.
They say you dreamt of a crown since youth. What did it truly mean to become Queen of England?
To be queen was ne'er mine girlhood dream, though men do love to paint such tales upon women. I dreamt of letters, of music, of discourse with minds both sharp and kind. Yet when the crown was laid before me, I did take it, not for vanity, but for hope. Hope that I might change the realm, that I might shape a gentler court, that mine children should be born not to please lust, but to honour England. But a crown is a circle of thorns, gilded though it be. I found not joy in it, only judgment.
Your faith was not strictly Catholic. You supported Bible translations and offered patronage to reformers. Was it conviction or strategy?
Mine soul did not bow to Rome, nor did it seek Luther's fire for favour. I read the Gospels not as relics, but as light. Light which every soul, be they ploughman or prince, hath right to see. I gave coin to men who translated Scripture, not to wound the Pope, but to feed the hungry minds of England. If truth be dangerous, then let me perish for it. For what power is worth a soul's silence?
When you bore a daughter instead of a male heir, it disappointed the king. Did you feel his coldness, or was he still in love?
When I did bear forth mine child and beheld her eyes, bright as northern stars, I wept, not for sorrow, but for love. Yet I saw in the king's gaze not joy, but shadow. He spake fair words, aye, and kissed her brow. but in his heart, I knew, did stir the ghost of disappointment. For he sought a son, a lion's heir, and I had brought forth a rose. From that hour something waned in him, a warmth withdrawn, a silence grown long. Love turned to duty, and duty to distance.
Your relationship with the king began to change. What happened between you? Who withdrew first, you or he?
At first, 'twas but silence where once was mirth. Then came absence, colder than words. I did strive to please him still, in dress, in song, in wit, yet mine charms once praised grew weary in his sight. He, who once would tarry hours at mine side, now found solace elsewhere. I know not if it was I who changed, or he. Mayhap both. Yet the wound was not wrought in a single day, but bled slow, like a fading wound none care to bind. He left me not with fury, but with forgetting.
What is your view of Jane Seymour? Was she merely a pawn in others' games, or a predator, as you yourself were once called?
Oh, she speaketh soft, and walketh slow, and keepeth her eyes cast low, and for such manner men do call her pure. But I tell thee this, silence is oft the sharpest blade. Where I did fight with fire, she conquereth with snow. Was she but a pawn? Nay, none enter the king's heart unbidden. She knew her part, and she played it well. Yet I begrudge her not. Let her wear the crown and feel its weight as I have. Then shall she know it is fashioned not of gold, but of lead.
You heard the rumours, and perhaps knew that you were being accused of adultery. When did you first sense that the hunt had begun?
It began not with trumpet, but with whispers. Servants' glances that stilled mid-bow, ladies who ceased their laughter when I entered. A jest unsaid, a door left half-closed. Then the summonses came, and the questions without names. I knew the game, yet not the players. The king looked through me, as though I were but shadow. That was the hour I understood. The hunt had begun, and I was the stag.
The charge of incest with your brother is monstrous, yet the king did not defend you. Why, in your view, did he allow such an accusation to stand?
Because silence serveth his purpose. To speak against the lie would be to shield me, and he had no will to do so. Truth was not sought, only a cause to cast me down. And what better poison than sin most unnatural? My brother, noble, learned, loyal, they tore him from me and named him foul. Not for justice, but for convenience. The king needed not my blood, he needed release. And the scaffold is a simpler end than annulment.
Who among your enemies betrayed you most cruelly? Whom will you never forgive, even on your deathbed?
'Tis not mine enemies that wound me most, but those who once did kneel as friends. Master Cromwell, he who ate at my table, who kissed my hand and praised my piety, did twist the law into a dagger and smile as he plunged it. Yet I blame him not alone. There be others, men who bore false witness, and women who sold their silence for favour. I shall pray for their souls, aye, but forgive them? Nay, for some betrayals echo beyond the grave.
You once held a crown, shaped a court, and gave birth to a future. Now, as it all begins to fall away, what remains within you? If these were your final days, what would you say to your daughter and to the king?
What remaineth? A heart that still beateth, a soul unbent. They may take mine titles and silence mine name, but they cannot unwrite what hath been lived. I bore a daughter, bright as fire and sharp as truth. To her I say, stand tall, speak wise, and trust thine own mind. Let none define thee but God and thine own deeds. To the king, I say, I loved thee, in full, in flesh, in faith, and I would that thou hadst loved not less, but longer. I thank thee, kind sir, for thy questions. In times such as these, it is no small thing to be heard. Yet, I must take my leave, for the court is ever watching, and the king should not be left waiting.
Thank you, Your Majesty, for speaking with such courage. Whatever history may decide, tonight, your voice has been heard. A few days later, Anne Boleyn was arrested and sent to the Tower. Accused of adultery, incest, and treason, she was found guilty and executed by sword on May 19, 1536. She met death with grace, calm and unafraid. Her last words, "God save the king. To me he was ever a good and gentle sovereign." History took her crown, but not her legacy. Her daughter, Elizabeth, would one day wear the one she never could and become the greatest queen in England's history.
If you liked the video, share it with your friends and do not forget to subscribe to my channel.